Hey everyone, before we dive in, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Stories like this deserve to be shared. I still remember the exact moment my world started to unravel. The rain was pounding against the city streets, slick asphalt reflecting the neon lights of restaurants and bars. When I saw her, my Mia, laughing at something I wasn't part of, not with me. My chest tightened, not just with jealousy, but with that slow, creeping suspicion that maybe I'd been replaced. We had been together for 5 years. 5 years of routines, inside jokes, late-night calls, and shared silence that somehow felt comfortable. I knew her coffee order, her favorite bookshop, the way her eyes crinkled when she smiled. And yet, she had begun slipping from my world without me noticing subtle changes at first. The longer work days, the new gym buddy, the way her phone would buzz, and she'd hide it, laughing at messages she wouldn't let me read. That night, I saw him, Andrew, suit press, grin sharp, that easy charisma that made everyone in the room lean in. He wasn't like me. He wasn't the quiet, patient guy who'd spent years building a life with her. He was a millionaire. Everyone said, the kind who could whisk someone away on private jets and weekends in Paris. And there she was, standing a little closer than I would have liked, laughing a little louder than necessary, her hand brushing his arm just enough for the world to notice. I texted her as I stood in the rain, pretending calm. Long night? She replied instantly, just catching up. Don't wait up. Her words were polite. Cold. Empty. I remember gripping my phone so hard my knuckles whitened, thinking about all the small moments that had already disappeared. Shared breakfast turned into hurried texts, Sunday walks replaced by silent scrolling. And yet, even in that pain, a part of me refused to let go. I wanted answers, a confrontation, a sign that this wasn't the end. I didn't know then that what I was about to discover would turn every certainty I had upside down, about her, about him, and about me. But I had no idea it was only the beginning. The next morning, the city felt sharper, colder, as if it knew what I didn't yet. Nothing would ever feel safe again. I went to work, my mind tangled in every memory of Mia, every laugh I thought we shared, every plan we made that now seemed like a cruel joke. But work was different. I'm not one to brag. I never flaunt what I have. But that morning, the truth hit me in a way I couldn't ignore. I walked into my office, scanning the familiar layout of glass walls and sleek mahogany desks. And there he was, Andrew, sitting in the corner, looking exactly like the confident, untouchable man I had seen her with the night before. But something was off. He didn't see me. He was talking to my assistant, casually, as if he belonged. And then it hit me. He worked for me, not as an employee in the usual sense. Andrew had been my investment partner for years. The same millionaire I thought was taking me away had been walking in my company building under my name, under my projects, answering to me. My chest tightened, part disbelief, part fury. I leaned back against the wall, my phone buzzing again. A text from Mia. Dinner tonight? I miss you. I blinked. Miss me? After all the late nights, all the hidden messages, all the nights I've been waiting while she was with him, she says she misses me? I started digging, scrolling through my company records, emails, anything that tied Andrew to me, and it was all there. My money, my investments, my trust. And she had been flirting with a man whose wealth I controlled entirely. My hands shook as I realized the depth of the irony, the audacity. She had abandoned me for a millionaire, not knowing, or maybe not caring, that he was the one I trusted with everything I had built. And then it hit even harder. I felt a strange twist of something I hadn't expected. Betrayal, yes, but also power. I could expose everything, reveal to her exactly who I was behind the scenes, and watch her world crumble. But would I? I caught myself staring at her picture on my phone, remembering the small, soft smile I once loved, and wondered how long she had really been playing a game she didn't understand she was in. The next move, it had to be precise. And I knew, deep down, it would change everything. That evening, I called Mia. My voice was calm, almost too calm, the kind of calm that hides a storm. Dinner's on me, I said, and she didn't hesitate, the casual excitement in her tone cutting sharper than any knife. I arrived at the restaurant first, watching the rain streak the windows as I waited. When she walked in, dressed in that effortless elegance I used to adore, I noticed a subtle confidence in her step. Completely unaware she was about to walk into a truth that would shatter her carefully built illusion. Andrew was already there. I didn't need to introduce myself. He knew exactly who I was. He froze when our eyes met, that smug grin vanishing into tight-lipped panic. Mia, blissfully ignorant, waved him over. "You remember my—" she started, but I interrupted gently, my tone smooth, deliberate. "Yes," I said, "I remember everything. You brought Andrew into my life, but what you didn't realize is he's been working for me all along." Her face froze, a flicker of recognition and confusion passing across her features. What do you mean?" I slid the company folder across the table, showing emails, contracts, and transactions, proof that every accidental encounter with Andrew had been under my umbrella. Her breath caught. She stammered, words failing. I thought he was independent," she whispered, her eyes darting between me and Andrew. "And you left me for him," I said quietly, never wondering whose hand really held the strings. "You chose wealth over love, without knowing whose wealth it even was." She sank into her chair, suddenly small, vulnerable, the woman I once knew but never fully understood. Andrew shifted, uncomfortable, powerless. I leaned back, letting the silence stretch. Revenge wasn't about ruin. It was about clarity, truth, and the realization that some people don't see what they have until it's gone. Mia finally looked at me, shame and regret battling with lingering defiance. I didn't know," she said, voice barely audible. "Now you do," I replied, standing. "And now, you can decide what to do with that knowledge. But some lessons aren't meant to be easy." I walked away, the rain washing over me, leaving only clarity behind. Sometimes heartbreak isn't just pain, it's a revelation. And as I disappeared into the city lights, I realized the truth I needed the most. Love is not about power or money. It's about respect, trust, and being seen for who you really are. If you felt the weight of this story, share your thoughts below and don't forget to subscribe. Stories like this deserve to be heard.